All right, we're going to do something a little bit different today. This little guy right here, this is Benny. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I don't own one of these. I never even saw it in person. But man, if what they're saying about this thing is true, this could change a lot of things very quickly. What I'm about to tell you is not a review, it's something more important. It's the start of a conversation about what happens when a piece of tech shows up that could actually change the math for people like me. And people like me means creators with disabilities, creators in wheelchairs who shoot solo because they have to, creators who have been told, explicitly or not, that this game isn't built for them. So if you came here for a spec sheet and a should I buy it verdict, that's not what this is. Go watch 51 Drones. Russ did a great job, all right? What I'm doing here is a little bit different. So about a week ago, I'm scrolling through my feed and I see this thing. It's called Beni. It's from a company called Mondo Robotics, and it looks like a little two-wheeled robot dog with a camera for a face, and it follows you around and films you in 4K. And honestly, my first thought was, yeah, cool. Another Kickstarter gadget for hipster doofy with disposable income to make vlogs of themselves walking around Brooklyn. The world needs more of that, right? But then I kept seeing it. 51 Drones, Desmond Wong, Flypath, air photography. 5 different creators, all within a couple of weeks, talking about this thing, all pulling massive views. And I started paying attention. And the more I watched, the more I selfishly realized every single one of these guys was reviewing the same product, but missing the entire point from my perspective. They were asking, is Beni a good camera robot? The question nobody was asking was, what does an autonomous camera operator mean for a creator who physically can't set up a tripod? First off, I got to explain something to you. If you're not in a wheelchair, if you're a walker, okay, here's what your filming workflow looks like. You put a tripod down, you frame the shot, you walk over to your mark, you talk, you walk back, you check the footage, you adjust, and you do it again. That whole cycle takes maybe 45 seconds. It's annoying, yeah, but it's not a barrier. Now, let me tell you what the same cycle looks like for someone like me. I roll over to where I want the tripod, I lock my chair, I lean over to get my one leg wherever it should be. Every adjustment is a negotiation between my reach, the angle of the chair, and whatever surface I'm working with. I frame the shot, I roll to my mark, I talk, I roll back. The tripod shifted half an inch because the ground is uneven and I couldn't get it locked right from the angle I was at. I reposition it. I'm exhausted already and aggravated. I'm 7 minutes into this and I haven't gotten a usable shot yet. This is one setup. I'll do this 15 more times today. And that's indoors, all right? That's the easy version. All right, now here's where I'm supposed to show you me setting up a tripod in a forest or a mountain trail or on a beach. But I can't do that. You wanna know why? Because I don't do that. I don't go outside and set up tripods on trails. It's a colossal pain in the ass for me. The chair gets stuck, the ground is never flat, the tripod sinks into the dirt or the sand or the mud. The whole thing takes 45 minutes, and by the time I'm set up, the light's changed, and I want to go home. So I just don't shoot in those places. And that means that those locations, those backdrops, that production value, that variety, they're not available to me right now. They're available to the guy who could hop out of his car, walk 30 feet, plant the tripod, and start filming. Right? That guy has access to the entire planet as a set. I have access to whatever's in arm's reach of a flat surface. And listen, that's not a complaint, okay? I'm not complaining. That's just real world. And I accepted that until now. This is where Beni enters the conversation. This $500 robot, it's on Kickstarter right now. It's about $500 early bird. Ships later this year, supposedly. Rolls behind you on grass, on gravel, on dirt, on uneven terrain. It tracks you, it keeps you in frame. It films in 4K at 30 frames per second. It goes almost 18 miles an hour, which means it keeps up with bikes, let alone me pushing my chair on pavement a blistering 3. And the thing that stuck with me, the thing I kept hearing every reviewer say without realizing that they were saying it, that they kept talking about the freedom. Russ from 51 Drones said it outright.
Having the freedom to just walk naturally without worrying about camera placement is really refreshing.
Yeah, that's a direct quote, man. And I heard that and I thought, Russ, my man, all right? You have no idea. I'm over here calculating how many more setups I have left in me before the exhaustion sets in and starts showing on camera. The freedom you're describing as refreshing for a disabled creator like I am, that same freedom is the difference between making the video and not making the video. And this is where it gets bigger than me and my filming frustrations. There are thousands of people out there with disabilities who never start a channel. Not because they can't be on camera or they don't have something to say, because the logistics of setting up the camera, just that one step, feels impossible. You don't have a camera person. You can't afford to hire one. You physically can't do the setup dance that I just described, so you just don't start. The barrier isn't talent. The barrier isn't ideas. The barrier is that nobody invented a camera that follows you around and does the work. Until maybe now. I said this wasn't a review, and it's not, but let me give you the basics so you know what I'm talking about. Beni is a self-balancing two-wheeled robot with a built-in 4K camera, swappable batteries that last about an hour and a half each, and AI tracking that locks onto people and pets. It self-rights when it falls, and it falls sometimes, okay? The review footage is hysterical. This thing tumbles down hills and pops back up like nothing happened. It has a camera mount on top, so you could attach your own action camera or 360 camera if you want better quality than the built-in lens. The price is $500 on Kickstarter right now. Retail will be closer to about $800. It ships allegedly this October. And yeah, it's Kickstarter, okay? It's a first-time hardware company, all right? I'm not telling you to back this. I don't own one. I haven't tested it. This thing could show up and be a complete disaster. I mean, like seriously, we all know about Kickstarter, right? The delivery dates get missed and promised features get cut all the time on Kickstarter. That's the nature of crowdfunded hardware. And I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about what this tech represents. Because even if Beni specifically isn't the final answer, the category it's creating, affordable autonomous camera robots for regular people, that's happening. And for disabled creators, that changes the entire equation. Here's the thing. I don't want someone following me around with a camera feeling like they're doing the wheelchair guy a favor. I don't want pity camera work, all right? I don't want someone's good deed for the day to be holding a gimbal behind me while I talk about pocket cameras. I want a robot, man. Or a robot doesn't pity you. Or a robot doesn't have subtext. Or a robot just does its job. And when the robot falls down a hill, it gets back up and keeps filming. And honestly, as someone who's fallen out of this chair more than once and gotten back up, you gotta respect that, man. There's something weirdly dignifying about a machine that just does the thing. No emotional labor attached, no, oh, let me help you with that energy. Just point it, it follows you, you make your video, and you go home. That's independence. That's the whole point of assistive technology, right? Not to make disabled people into an inspiration story. Like God, well, like we hate that. But to make the thing that was hard into a thing that isn't hard. Look, I'm just gonna say it. I think that this is one of the first steps to everyone owning their own R2 units. You remember R2D2, right? Follows Luke around, beeps at him, projects holograms, saves the day. That's where this is going. Of course, not today. Maybe not even with Beni specifically. But look at the trajectory, man. Autonomous tracking, obstacle avoidance, voice commands. You put a better camera in the next version, you add a screen, you give it a little personality, and suddenly every creator, disabled or not, has a droid that's their camera operator, their assistant, their little robotic production partner. This is the rough draft, the clunky first version. But I could see where this road goes, and for people who physically can't do the setup dance I described at the top of the video, that road leads somewhere pretty meaningful. Now look, I understand $500 is real money. That's not, well, let me back a Kickstarter for fun money. That's I need to think about this money. And you should think about it. I'm not sitting here telling you to pull out your credit card. What I am saying is pay attention to this category. Watch what happens when these things get cheaper. Watch what happens when the second generation drops and the first gen units are on eBay for $200. The price is gonna come down. The tech is gonna get better. And the moment an autonomous camera robot costs what a decent tripod and gimbal setup costs, that's the moment the barrier I've been describing starts to crumble. So here's what I want you to do. If you're an aspiring disabled creator, drop a comment and tell me, what's the one piece of gear or the one piece of tech that would change everything for you? What's the thing that if someone invented it tomorrow would knock down the wall between you and the channel that you want to build? Because I want to know. I want to know if it's a camera robot or something else entirely, all right? Maybe it's software. Maybe it's a mounting solution. Maybe it's something that I haven't thought of. Tell me. I read every comment and I want to know what problems need solving. Oh, and if anyone from Mondo Robotics is watching this, I'm not adverse to going outside and trying this thing out. So if you sent me one to test, I wouldn't hate it. I'm not a 500,000 subscriber channel. I'm not going to make your Kickstarter go viral, but I can tell a story about your product that, from what I could see, nobody else is telling right now. I could show you and the backers and the whole creator community what this thing means to someone who physically can't do what the walkers take for granted. I don't know, might be worth something. At the end of the day, that's what this channel is all about, all right? You're not too old, you're not too late, your body is not a disqualification. The game keeps changing, and some of those changes, like a $500 robot that follows you around with a camera, those changes are for us, right? Don't sleep on that. All right, till next time, guys, stay loud, stay a little bit reckless, and go out and make something. See you next time.